Just real quickly, I haven't talked much about the Vols. Would they rather play Ole Miss, South Carolina? And what are a couple of things outside of the wins and losses that you would like to see Tennessee accomplish this weekend in Nashville?
Yeah, I think they would match up better against South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And the Ole Miss, they're a little tricky at the guard spot. It's kind of the matchups aren't the same, but South Carolina, I like to see them match up with them better. But outside of that, going into the tournament, what I like to see, just somebody get some chemistry. And when I say chemistry, meaning that extra spark coming off the bench, because you gotta have guys fill in for Sakai. The energy that he brings, you're not gonna be able to match it, but the sparks that he brings, the savvy plays, the charges that you pick up, the disturbance of bringing the ball up the court for the opponents, you got to be able to get into your sets and still have an opportunity that Zakai figured out when to take his opportunity as far as pushing the ball in that transition set and being able to hurry up and get a layup. Can you account for those things? Who's a guy that can get into the lane like that, make the defense contract if you can just do it on penetration. If you're not getting the inside presence of the bigs on the post-ups and not getting them double teams, Zakai was always a guy that can penetrate and get it on the inside and make everybody suck in, be able to kick it out for threes. So who can be able to do that? I think that's the biggest thing, that speed that you're trying to make up for. That's what I would look for. And how you can steal some easy buckets. I think that was one of the biggest things with Zakai. You were always going to be able to get out and transition and run on made or misses. So how do you steal easy transition points? Who's going to be able to push the ball? You would think being able to put another guy in there, or if you go small, you were able to get the ball and whoever gets it pushes it and everybody else run. But how mentally prepared are you for that, to understand that when somebody else touches it, you're not looking for the ball? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that we got the rebound, let's turn and go, instead of somebody coming back to get the ball. It's like get a set. Like you got to get into a fluid movement of getting the ball and running and filling the lanes and filling the extra spots that you've not used to filling because you always had a point guard in that situation. So that's the thing. And then when you match up against point guards, I think guards period win tournaments. So you got to be able to have somebody step up to stop some guards. When you get guys like Wendell Green, I think that's why he had a good go at it. You got Sears for Alabama. You got Nick Honor for Missouri. The list goes on and on of the guard play that you're going to have to be able to stop and combat. Who's going to be the guy that can do that and not tire out and it takes something from them offensively by being able to be a pest like that on the ball. So that's the biggest thing I want to see coming out of this SEC tournament.
Ron, as usual, throwing high heat, and Caleb gave you a shout out before we had you on. You were the one who threw the pass to John Higgins for the half court shot against Georgia Tech. Right. I didn't remember that.
You should have been playing quarterback.
Yeah, Caleb. That was very Grant Hill Duke-like.
Yeah.
Leitner shot. I didn't realize you were the guy who threw that.
You got to go back and look at it too, Dave. I pump faked first. Pump faked to CJ Watson. I gave him the shoulder shift, came back and hit head. You got to see how square my body was. See, Caleb, I appreciate you looking at the details. See, I pump fake to CJ, come back, move the defense with my eyes, boom, get him back.
You know, it's funny you say that because
serious.
I remember that shot, and I'm like, why were there no Georgia Tech defenders on John Higgins right there? It just threw me off. I'm like, oh, look at Ron.
I'm telling you. It's the details, man. People don't pay attention to the details. You got to shift the defense. See, me and Peyton, man, 7-on-7. I ain't even going to tell that story right now.
Well, I want to hear it at some point. Yeah. Looking off the safety. Ron, I appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate y'all, man.